Hello, amazing, ineffable being. How are you? I want to tell you that you are a genius, you are special, you mean the world, and you are loved. Today's topic is imagination. Einstein said imagination is the preview to life's coming attractions. Again, Einstein said imagination is the preview to life's coming attraction. Today, we're talking about the imagination. The imagination is really quite phenomenal. Have you stopped and thought that everything that we know today, all the good, all the bad, all the technology, all the medicine, it all had to start from inside the mind, inside the mind. The Wright brothers, they flew a plane inside their mind before the world ever saw it. Einstein, from age 12, imagined himself on his bike riding at the speed of light and turning on the light bulb. And for years, for the next 10 to 15 years, he spent trying to picture what is happening at those speeds using the mind. We have Nikola Tesla that tells us to know the universe, you have to understand energy, vibration, and frequency. Well, today we're talking about the imagination and the key takeaways that I want you to take away. If you don't want to wait till the whole end of this video, however long it will be, I want to tell you that you have to consciously create imagination. That's number one. And number two is don't share your imagination with the whole world. Like Steve Harvey says, God presented you that image. He didn't give it to your parents. He didn't give it to your best friends, your school teacher, your mentors. God gave you and only you that imagination. We're talking about what comes unconscious currently. What is this? Why is it that our parents shoot us down, our friends, our family? It's not because they don't love us. It's not because they don't understand us. It's because God gave you that imagination, that image, that vision of the future. He didn't give it to anybody else. And what happens when we have these spiritual experiences? Well, we're in awe. We feel ineffable. We don't have words to describe this vision. And we begin to emotionally attach ourselves to this vision. So the reason why most of us get discouraged is because we share something that was personal, that was given to me with others who have no idea and they're on a different track. Again, they don't love us any less or any more if they say, hey, good job. They simply don't know what has been revealed to you. Your imagination is the key to life's coming attractions. Let me go back to the first step, the first step. You have to consciously create imagination. You know you can consciously imagine anything you want. Most of us decide just to have our unconscious hallucinations while we're sober, and we call these imaginations. Yeah, that happens to all of us whenever we're roughly in a pleasant state, and even can happen if we're not in a good emotional state. Life's coming attractions. Imagination is the preview to life's coming attraction. What does this mean? Have you looked up that the brain, do you know the body doesn't know the difference between an occurrence, a situation that's being caused consciously using the brain, or a situation in our external world? The brain doesn't know the difference with what you're creating in your mind or what's happening outside. That's what we call the body the unconscious mind, because it can't tell apart. We have science and medical evidence to show that we can get professional individuals in whatever art they are. It could be an artist, a musician, an athlete, and connect them with EEG and other technology and have them do what they do best. Have them do what they've done over 10,000 times physically in the real world through space-time. And then we take them into a quiet room and we have them close their eyes and imagine the exact same activity. And do you know what's phenomenal? That The brain doesn't know the difference. We can say this because what happens in the brain in both scenarios is the exact same. So whenever I heard this a long time ago, I was like, okay, yeah, I mean, we're the most advanced humans. So that just kind of went under the radar. I didn't embrace it. I didn't say, wow, that's so amazing. Why again? Well, because we're not put in cages, for the most part. If you were staying legal, you're not locked up in a cage. What am I saying? We are the most advanced animal. There's no other animal that's gonna come by and say, "Hey, you need to do this or do that." No, that's us to all the species on the planet. Well, for this reason, whenever I heard this science a long time ago, it didn't really hit me. And of course, I wasn't conscious that I could be conscious. But now after my first awakening, after I realized that the human being can be conscious, excuse me, y'all, this was transformative. I said, okay, so if I imagine myself driving the car of my dreams, my brain doesn't know. If I'm putting all my attention, using all of my energy, the brain doesn't know. See, the problem with imagination is one, like my mentor Sadhguru says, the problem on the planet isn't suffering. The problem is what human beings are suffering is a vivid sense of memory and an extraordinary sense of imagination. He's really referring to most of us living unconsciously. I used to live in this, and I know this is what I used to suffer because I wasn't going out to apply for a job. I wasn't doing the things that would be considered casual and welcoming and empowering for the average human being after my first awakening. For a good year, I mean, I was lost. I was 100% suffering my imagination because it was being presented to me. The idea that I was going to receive if I have no internal action. I was going to receive the life of my dreams by just putting my hands up and not doing anything. Of course, I mean, I had a pretty tough life growing up, physical, emotional, psychological abuse. So whenever I hear the ideas presented, hey, you don't have to do anything, just wait, and you're going to receive this big sum of money or this great manifestation, I wasn't going to apply for a job. Not because I'm stupid or uneducated or because of a mental disability that I have. Simply, I didn't know what I was suffering. I didn't know I was suffering a vivid sense of imagination, an extraordinary sense of imagination. Now I understand that, wow, I can be conscious. I can make my imagination. I can act in accordance to my imagination. So today is about the imagination, and the two takeaways is remember that the body is the unconscious mind. It doesn't know difference between a reality you're creating by thought alone, aka conscious, or something that you are experiencing in your outer world. I hope I hope this information has been useful. I hope you use it to create the life you want. Picture vividly what you want. And I almost forgot to leave that if you want something bad enough, you have to hold on to it. That's why we have the term cultivating a seed. The problem is we might imagine something or have a thought or ask the universe for something and we expect it tomorrow. Well, if you asked, there's a side of law of attraction that we can say, well, if you're asking, you're showing yourself you don't have. So let's take it a step further. How about we imagine ourselves already in that dream job, already with the sum of money that we want, and hold that thought unwavering until it manifests. It will. That's fact. That's universal. I hope you've enjoyed this video. I hope it's motivated to jump into yourself. Look up, what happens when you actually use the brain. Look up the difference between unconscious and conscious thought, unconscious imagination versus conscious imagination. I promise you, you can create the life you want if you decide to be as conscious as possible and decide to stick it out till you see it and hold it in your hands. I hope this video has motivated you. I hope it's been inspiring. I ask that you also share with me what topics would you like for me to talk about in the future, and share with me what is your dream. Because if there's anyone that's going to support your dream, it's going to be me. And lastly, please share this video with your family members, with your loved ones, on your social media account, mastermind group. I hope to see you in the side of light. Goodbye.